Today we're going to be talking about the Arc'teryx Thorium, the Cerium SV, and then the Rab Neutrino Pro. We're going to talk a little bit about where they shine and where you might use them. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. All right, so first up, we're going to talk about the Arc'teryx Thorium. This thing is coming in at 750 fill down. So super high quality down, super packable, super breathable, fantastic insulation. This one's kind of like your go-to all-around winter jacket for almost every situation. So while this jacket does have that 750 fill down, it does come with a little bit of synthetic insulation around the shoulders, the underarms, and the wrist cuffs, and we will see that as a theme throughout this jacket for all of these. And what that does, is basically provide a little bit of moisture resistance, water resistance, not waterproofing, in all of those areas where you might get like a light misty, light snow, kind of those types of conditions. But if you are gonna get totally dumped on, just know all three of these jackets are down jackets and they will clump, they will not perform in a very high quality way in a really rainy, wet condition or environment. But there are some nuances here to these products that we'll dive into for sure. But definitely, just know that the Thorium is a fantastic kind of all-around jacket because of that insulation, but also because of the fabric on the outside. Arc'teryx is calling this fabric, this nylon material, Arato 30D. And basically, the thing with this, it is a water-repellent coating on the outside of the jacket. It's a pretty beefy, kind of durable coating that adds a little bit of moisture resistance, like I said, but not waterproofing. So just know that the Thorium comes in with a really beefy outer shell that gives it a step above that baseline Cerium that we've talked about in the last video. Something cool about the Thorium here is, you can see the cut of it is a little bit wider. Arc'teryx typically has more of a trim, kind of athletic cut to most of their jackets, more of that sporty fit. But with the Thorium, they did make that a little bit wider. And I think that's because they anticipated this being used as that outer shell. Again, with the more moisture resistant and more durable outer fabric, this is gonna be a really good jacket to layer underneath. It's not really gonna be a jacket you're gonna put a shell over top of. But if you are using this as that outer layer, it's cut that way for a reason. So just a little bit wider, good to know. I'm gonna be wearing this in a large, 6 feet tall, 180. And in some of the Arc'teryx stuff, I'm between a large and an extra large, but for this Thorium in particular, I'm definitely gonna go with a large. So who's the Thorium for? Like I said, pretty much anybody in any winter condition. If it gets soaked, the down will lose loft, but if you're in a dry or a misty area, good for walking dogs in the morning, good for cold weather hikes, good for getting after it for maybe some drier alpine climbing. But if you want that one kind of down jacket that does it all, the Thorium is the one for all three of these. Not too hot, not too cold, nice and abrasion resistant, a little bit of moisture resistance. All around, fantastic down jacket, good from the trail to the bar. That's pretty much everything we're looking for when it comes to the Thorium. So if that's you like to play outside and play inside a little bit and around town, go for the Thorium. All right, next we're gonna talk about the Cerium SV. This bright and shiny guy right here. We'll talk a little bit about that fabric and why it looks like that. It's pretty cool, but this Cerium SV stands for severe, which is kind of weird for this jacket because, I don't necessarily think I would put it in a category for severe weather. It's definitely not going to perform when wet at all. That is not the point of this jacket. But I think I'll use severe as I like to say when you're getting after it, when you're doing some hardcore stuff, some alpine climbing, some mountaineering objectives, but where it's going to be dry. This Cerium SV is not meant for wet weather conditions at all. It comes in with 1,000 fill down. This is one of the most premium down jackets on the entire market around the entire world. It is gonna be most bang for buck out of these three jackets, the best warmth to weight ratio and packability. And it also comes with its own stuff sack, which is a really nice feature. But yeah, that 1,000 fill down is crazy. The amount of warmth and loft that provides for the little amount of down that is in it is just bonkers and really does a good job of bringing the weight down, but the warmth up. So not only does this Cerium SV come with that 1,000 fill down, it also has that that synthetic mapping in all those right places like we talked about with the Thorium. So the cuffs, the underarms, the shoulders, everywhere where you might have a little bit of a wetting, again, like a misting, it does have that synthetic insulation. But again, this jacket is not for wet conditions. This shell is made of diamond fused nylon. So the carbon that creates the diamond structure is fused into this nylon, which does make it super durable for how thin it is, but it's still just not a durable jacket. This thing is not meant for running around at the crag, for any sort of like wet weather, ice climbing. You know, I would really say, like, I see this jacket as like an ultralight, crazy warm, built for cold, dry conditions. You know, think alpine climbing, but again, no moisture. Think mountaineering trips or winter camping at elevation. But with that winter camping kind of in mind, you really don't want to wear this around the fire either, because again, just not a super durable material. The Cerium SV is all about warmth to weight ratio and packability in an ultralight premium package. And it definitely comes in at a higher price point because of that, at $600. So the Cerium SV is not for everyone, not at all. But if you are performing at a very high intensity and you are doing some high output activities where you are getting sweaty as heck and you are working hard and you want a jacket that keeps you warm in dry conditions, go for the Cerium SV. All right, last but certainly not least is the Rab Neutrino Pro. This thing is a beast in the world of mountaineering. You know, it's kind of a legendary jacket, again, that has you covered from the trail to the bar, but it is more performance oriented. It's really warm, and if you are gonna be getting after it on some hardcore ice climbing or mountaineering where you know you might get wet and you know you're gonna be really cold, this is the jacket for you. It comes in with that 800 fill down, so it's a step above the Thorium as far as down insulation and fill goes, but a step below the Cerium SV. So 750, 800, 1000 fill. You know, and it does have a nice Pertex shell on the outside of that jacket. So really where the Neutrino shines here, the Neutrino Pro shines here. It's Pro because it has that Pertex Pro material or like fabric embedded into it, something specifically to Rab, which is cool. But basically it's gonna be super insulatory. It's gonna keep you warm as heck, and the outer shell on this jacket with that Pertex is just a beast. It is meant to be abrasion resistant, it is super durable, and it is super warm. So just know that if you're somebody who gets really hot and really sweaty, this jacket's gonna make you really hot. It's not meant for mild conditions. It's not meant for spring days. This is a winter ice climbing and mountaineering jacket that is hardcore, but that doesn't mean you can't wear it around town. Here in Toledo where we live, we do get some really frigid winter days that are sometimes reaching below zero with a lot of wind chill right off the lake, and it might not be snowing at all. It doesn't snow here anymore, unfortunately, for the most part, but this jacket is gonna be hardcore and keep me super warm all day. I could literally just wear a t-shirt in this jacket at 0 degrees with a, I don't know, 15-20 mile an hour wind, and I would still be cooking. So if you wanna be warm, this is the one. So who's it for? Like I said, anyone going into harsh, cold, wet winter environments, alpine climbing, winter expeditions, you know, just think all those things that you might be watching a documentary for, this is the jacket that dude's gonna be wearing. So if you wanna look like that dude, Neutrino Pro is the one. At the end of the day, like we always say, these are all premium products that are going to keep you warm, dry, and safe and having fun. You know, that's really what matters when you're getting after it outside for any of these fun activities like climbing, hiking, skiing, snowboarding. That's what matters, and any one of these jackets will be fantastic for what you're getting after. I think bang for your buck wise, the Neutrino Pro is pretty good, coming in at $400. So it's the cheapest of these three jackets. The Thorium is coming in at $500 and the Cerium SV is coming in at $600. As you step up in price there, you're getting like more technology in the outer fabric. But again, at the end of the day, like I keep repeating, $400 for this Neutrino is a steal. You know, we've even heard some things that the Rab prices might be going up because they really could charge a higher price for a lot of this stuff, and they're at a lower price point. So right now is a fantastic time to buy some Rab equipment for sure. But you know, jacket for around town, using just kind of a daily winter jacket, go for the Thorium. Ultra light, fast packing, dry winter experiences, go for the Cerium SV. And for some hardcore wet winter expeditions where you're gonna be cold and gonna be pushing your limits, go for the Neutrino Pro. If you wanna check out any of these jackets, head on over to our website at ridgeandriver.com and use the code YouTube10 for 10% off of anything on our website. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, drop a comment down below, all that good stuff. Let's help this boost all this good stuff into the algorithm so we can keep having fun at our jobs. Thanks so much for watching. Stay warm out there. Again, check out the website, do all that good stuff. Stay warm out there. Thanks so much for watching. Doses.